Hey, welcome to GarageBound LLC in Chattanooga. My name is Michael Brandt, and today we're going to be talking about the new Multimatic 220 AC/DC welding machine. We have brand new equipment that we're so excited about, the new Miller Multimatic 220 AC/DC machine and a new cart. So we're going to do some time-lapse video. We're going to unbox this stuff, we're going to assemble the cart, we're going to take the welder out, we're going to put it all together, put it on the cart, and we'll be back. We've had it in the shop and have had the opportunity to use it for a little over a month, and I really wanted to become familiar with this machine before I just jump right in and do a review. So we're going to do a nice walk around, show you all of the equipment that comes with it, and then show you what we've done as far as alterations, and then get right to it. Included with the Miller Multimatic 220 AC/DC machine, you'll find a Consumables Kit with cups from 4 to 7, along with matching collets and bodies that go on this Weldcraft torch. Comes with the air-cooled Weldcraft torch, as well as a ported foot pedal from Miller, as well as an electrode holder for all the 3 different processes. The purchase of the Multimatic 220 AC/DC machine, it also includes voltage regulators that you need. You'll have a designated one for your argon, and then you'll have a designated one for your 75/25 mix, if that's what you choose to use. Today's morning project is we are taking this standard double bottle Miller electric cart that goes with our Multimatic 220 AC/DC machine. Well, we wanted to make sure that our TIG welder was water cooled, so we picked up a Coolmate 3 Facebook Marketplace that has very little use on it, and we want this to be all contained in one cart. So the cooler's a little taller than we need than the cart space is, so you can see my lines right here. We're going to cut that and add a 5-inch piece of 1-inch square tubing to stretch it up, and essentially it'll raise that top platform up 5 inches and allow us to get our water cooler in and out of there. So stay tuned. Our new parts finally came in from CK Worldwide. Today we're working on the Miller 220 Multimatic 220 AC/DC machine, and it wasn't really meant to be water cooled, but where there's a will, there's a way. And so CK Worldwide is my go-to people anytime I need any water cooled torches, etc. So they have a special DINS plug that will plug into this machine where the TIG plug goes, that has the hole in the center of it, and it has all the water recirculation lines to where we can plug in one of their brand new CK230fx flex head torches. So check it out, it's beautiful. I'm packaging the special DINS plug. This. Alright. So we got the plug that actually plugs into the machine. We have our argon line and then a return water line here. So in order to get our water-cooled torch set up, we have to take this housing apart here, and it's as simple as taking this screw off, this cap, setting that off to the side, and you want to give it a little pry right here on top. Once it starts separating, then you can take this jacket and slide it forward. Okay, after a bit of trial and error, and after losing a little bit of coolant out of my water cooler, I finally know what I'm doing enough to explain to you what's happening here. This blue cord provides the cool water going into the torch. So it goes all the way up to the torch head, circulates around the torch, and then the hot water comes all the way back through the main lead that's got the cable inside of it, your power lead, into the DINS connector, back into this red line, and this red line goes into your water cooler. Now what I've learned is that there's a port for entry of the coolant going in, and then there's a port for the coolant leaving the cooler. That way it's circulating through the radiator and getting cooled properly. So once you have all those plugged in the right position, I even backed off some of my fittings here to make sure water was coming out from all the junction points. And we also have an indicator on the front of the machine that wasn't really working until I got all the air bubbles out of the system. So if all the air bubbles are not out of the system, then that little dial right there is not spinning like it's spinning now. So again, we have cold water going all the way through to the end of the torch lead. It circulates around the head, comes back through the main cable, the red one, all the way up into the DINS connector here, which is also a lot like a power block. And then it comes around and then back into the cooler with this lighter gauge red wire. The thing to do for this customization is to install the cover that goes over the TIG lead. I usually get a 15-foot TIG lead, but this time I thought I'd try spoiling myself and try a 25-foot lead, see how I like that. One thing I will have to do is probably extend the ground on this machine to match the length of the TIG lead. So I'll be buying some copper cable to make that ground longer so that I can work further away from the machine. We've hopped up our Multimatic 220 AC/DC machine quite a bit since we've had it, because when we use this machine, we're typically using it, you know, anywhere from 1 hour to 4 to 6 hours at a time. So when we're doing that, we like to have a water-cooled torch setup. So we got a CoolMate 3 that, off of Craigslist and put it on with our system here. In order to do that, we purchased a CK Worldwide power block that allows everything to recirculate from the water cooler back into through the torch. The products we enjoy the most from Miller is the wireless foot control, and we have it on all of our TIG welding machines. This can be used at least 75 foot from the power source if you have long enough leads and not even miss a beat. So super easy, 3 AA batteries, the receiver here that plugs right into your 14-pin connector, and you're good to go. No more tripping over the lines, no more cut wires. This thing is a true time saver. I'm gonna run down through the different processes. It's so simple to change just with your toggle switches up and down. Starts out with flux cord. You can change your wire size anywhere from 024 to 045, and then your thicknesses from 16 gauge all the way up to 3/8. You can have fine-tune control your volts. You can fine-tune control your wire speed also. Next on the list is Mick Stainless. It's going to show you the different trimix gases to use. It's going to show you the machine setup for your ground and your MIG gun. The same thing's going to happen when you go to MIG Steel C25. It tells you the gas to use. It tells you how to set everything up as far as your hardware. Mild Steel C100, that's just for C100 gas. Same thing. It's going to show you the setup. You can toggle through your wire size, your material thickness, your volts, and your wire speed. Next is MIG Aluminum, telling you to use 100% argon gas with the spool mate. Shows you how to connect the spool mate. Once you have the spool mate properly set up, then you can also adjust your wire size and your thickness of material. TIG Aluminum is really awesome. We use this a lot here in the shop. After showing setup, it's going to give you some frequency control adjustments, a lot like the Dynasty. So you'll be able to go from 60 all the way up to 150 on your frequency. You can change your amperage here, or you can change your balance by using the plus and minus switches here. Also, your tungsten sizes gives you the option of 1/16 or 3/32. Next on the list is steel. TIG Steel Stainless. Tells you what gas to use, how to set it up, and then this one's got a really cool control too, because you got the pulsing capability. Pulses per second, you can run it all the way down to 0.1 pulse per second, or you can go as high as 150 pulses per second. Again, your tungsten range is 1/16 to 3/32. For stick welding, it's going to tell you how to hook up your electrode and in what sequence. Once you have that set up, then your options are going to be your rod thicknesses. So it gives you 3/32 6011, 1/8 6011, 6013 is 3/32, 1/8 6013, 5/32 6013. You get to 3/32, it starts over into the 7018 group. to 18, 1/8, 70/18, 5/30 seconds. Material thickness, you can go from 1/8 inch all the way up to 3/8 inch and have full control of your amperage if you don't like the auto set. Switching auto set on and off is as simple as pushing that button. You have your dig capabilities, 0 to 99, and you're gonna get 200 amps out of this machine, and it says it's gonna operate as low as 30. The last function for the TIG welding is your TIG arc start. You have your high frequency start, which is what we use all the time. Another option is lift arc remote, or just simply lift arc. Lift arc is working on TIG steering things. For this demonstration, we chose to use 1/4 inch flat bar on the aluminum. We did a T-joint weld as well as a lap weld. Next up on the line is doing some DC stainless TIG welding. We wanted to show how well the pulsar works, so we chose to do 0.8 pulses per second. Time to try out some stick welding with this machine. Super simple to switch through. I'm just gonna put it on stick there. The screen is gonna tell us where it wants everything. You'll have to give me a break here. Stick welding is not my profession at all. We just do it from time to time when needed. For the stick welding portion here, we used 1/8 inch 70/18 stick electrodes. The third and final process is MIG welding. We had some 3/8 flat bar. That's what we used to do this simple lap weld. In all, we are very pleased with this welder. The Miller Multimatic 220 AC/DC machine has fit so many different jobs, from all the different wide variety of things that we do, from stainless to aluminum to carbon. And we couldn't be more excited to have this in our shop, especially with alterations that we've made with the wireless foot pedal and the water-cooled torch. So the only thing that I think this machine could use to be better would be a 110 plug on the back of the machine for the water cooler, so you didn't have to run a separate cord for that, as well as a longer ground cord. Other than that, I have zero complaints. Love this machine. This is the one-stop shop. Somebody just getting into the business looking for a single multi-process machine to get going, this is definitely the answer.